Hello, everyone. Welcome to Star Flag Media. Today is February 21st, 2024, and we're coming to you again a little bit earlier this week because we have a big event happening this week. Well, actually happened earlier today, as you have probably all watched, but we're going to talk about here and my thoughts on Nintendo Direct for 2024. They're giving us a little bit of insight as to what is coming up on the Nintendo Switch in the upcoming year. And yeah, let's get right into it. So, here's basically everything that was announced today, and then we're gonna I'll think more or less what I would be into, and maybe you guys can leave me a comment on what your thoughts are, maybe a game that you were looking forward to. So right off the bat, the presentation starts off and it shows off Grounded. So we have Grounded coming out. This game was an Xbox One game, from Microsoft, Xbox Game Studios. And, it's one of those games that feels bigger than it should be. I honestly didn't know if it was going to run on the Switch, but there it is. Xbox seems to have lowered the resolution, of course, to run on the Switch. But I was watching some people analyze the trailers, and it looks like the game is going to be running at 60 frames per second, albeit at a lower resolution. So we're not going to be expecting 1440p visuals, more probably along the lines of variable 1080 or lower, maybe 960p perhaps. But yeah, 60 frames per second is expected, and that's one of those service games that Microsoft spoke about last week on their podcast. So it was also one of those games that was pretty much confirmed by Famitsu and some other sources. Yeah, so it's coming to Nintendo Switch. It's going to be interesting to see, how this pans out for the Nintendo audience. I think this game is well suited for Nintendo audience. You got kids running around, and it opens up a huge world to them. Again, it's a big scale game. It surprises me to see it on Switch, but there it is. Microsoft got it going, and I'm pretty sure it'll run pretty decently on there. So we also got a very quick flash later on in the presentation of the second out of the 4 games that Microsoft spoke about, and it is Pentiment. Pentiment is coming to Nintendo Switch. This game was out on PC. It's a Microsoft game, of course, and one of those games that was highly rated and everybody was really into. If you were into those type of storybook type games, I guess it's not for me, but I can understand how there's an audience for this. And, who knows, depending on the price point, the entry point for it, I might check it out, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. Grounded, however, I am interested in. So there we got 2 out of the 4 games that Microsoft pretty much said was coming out. They didn't confirm it until now. We have confirmation from the Nintendo Direct and Nintendo themselves and Xbox themselves. So we know 2 out of the 3. Interestingly enough, no Hi-Fi Rush, which was data mined as coming over to Switch. Perhaps it is still coming, maybe later on down the line. Perhaps it's making the jump over to the next Nintendo, which we can talk about briefly. It's been rumored to be pushed back into Q1 of 2025. So we'll talk about that more in the Drunken Idiots podcast this weekend. But yeah, so no Hi-Fi Rush and no Sea of Thieves. So perhaps those are going to be the other 2 games that make their way over to the PS5. Gotta wait and see at this point, right? Another game they showed off was called Ender Magnolia Bloom in Mist, set within a world of Ender's Lilies, Quietus of the Night. The game sees characters defeating and teaming up with deadly homunculi, I don't know how to say that, to rescue a devastated world. It has like this pastel type, overview map. Again, one of those type of games that not really for me. Next, they showed off a Ranger, a role puzzling adventure, and it's set in an interconnected puzzle world. You'll navigate in a grid where everything moves when you move. So you'll take down monsters, help townfolk, and of course, solve puzzles. The graphics look really cool. If you're into this type of strategy game, I think it's something you should, check out. Next game that they showed off was Unicorn Overlord, and that gets a demo today. You can go play the demo right now. And, it's a turn-based strategy game from Vanillaware, and now we can finally play it ahead of its March 8th release. They also showed off Monster Hunter Stories. 2017 Nintendo 3DS spin-off Monster Hunter is now coming over to the Switch, as well as PS4 and Steam. In addition, it's been upgraded obviously to HD visuals. This port includes new voiceovers, a museum mode, and additional content previously only available in Japan. Surprise for the show was Disney's Epic Mickey rebrushed. Now, this one was actually rumored on X about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and I didn't really talk about it because it was just very quiet. But the person who I forget their name, maybe I'll link there or post, who it was in the video. But the person who leaked it definitely spoke about Disney's Epic Mickey being remastered and coming over to the Switch, and that it was going to be shown on this Nintendo Switch presentation, and they were 100% correct. And then as of today, this person went on X and said that Metroid Prime 4 is going to be Nintendo's next or probably last big announcement for the Switch before releasing a Switch 2. So, my thoughts on this is Metroid Prime 4 might be one of those crossover games, kind of like Twilight Princess was for GameCube to Wii, and kind of how Breath of the Wild was from Wii U over to Switch. Maybe Metroid Prime 4 gets a Switch release and then a upgraded Switch 2 release, or whatever they call the Switch 2. Disney's Epic Mickey rebrushed is 2011's Wii game that we all loved. It was the first one, the very good one. It's getting touched up for a comeback to Switch with enhanced remake, includes updated graphics, new skills for Mickey, and other improvements. Next, they showed off another Shin Megami Tensei game. So Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance is supposedly, this is the definitive version of SMT5 and includes the base adventure along with new storyline featuring new locations and demons. So if this is a game that you missed before and you like the Shin Megami Tensei series, I guess this is the time to pick this version up because it seems to have everything in it. A surprise for me was the announcement of Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, and that's coming March 14th. The original Battlefront games have been remastered. They still look like 360 games, don't get me wrong, but, they've been touched up, updated with features such as new playable characters, Kit Fisto and Asajj Ventress, and bonus maps, Jabba's Palace, Bespin Cloud City, and Yavin 4 Arena. I'm hyped for that. I loved the original Battlefront games, and this is going to have online multiplayer and the whole nine. It's a welcome, nice little release there, and I'm excited for that. That one I might look at, might pick up, again, depending on the price. They showed off a game called Sword Art Online Fractured Dreams, and that's coming later this year. It says either alone or with a friend in co-op, you'll tackle a distorted version of Sword Art Online that includes battling in 20-player raids against powerful enemies. I'm not interested in that, but hey, if you are, more power to you. Leave me a comment. Let me know why I should look at that game. They showed off Gundam Breaker 4. You can build your own Gundam, blow up other mechs, take their parts for your own, and, continue from there. Just rinse, wash, and repeat. It says, for Gunpla fans, the real thrill is assembling your own suits with parts from a 250 base kit to take into battle or show off to others. Gundam's always been one of those shows, animes, series, whatever you want to be into, the manga, whatever, that I've always wanted to kind of look into, and I haven't. The game kind of looks cool. But it's a flip of the coin, really. I'm not sure, it's the fourth one, I guess. So maybe they are successful. Maybe they are good. Another game that was rumored to come out, kind of hiding in the background noise of all of the Xbox and State of Play news, was that there was going to be a new Super Monkey Ball. And sure enough, Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble makes its way onto the Switch on June 25th. Sega revealed that it's a brand new Super Monkey Ball game featuring 200 fresh courses, 16 player multiplayer, and new moves for II and his friends. Super Monkey Ball was one of the best launch games that I had for my GameCube. Surprise hit, hours of fun with me and the bros. We played a lot of Super Monkey Ball Pause, and yeah, this one looks good. World of Goo 2 comes out on May 23rd as a console exclusive to the Switch. And it's coming, like I said, this May. If you guys had a Wii back in the day, this was one of those first WiiWare games that was one of those breakout hits that showed that Nintendo's online service had a few games that you might want to pick up even if they were just digital. World of Goo 1 was fun, nice puzzler, and World of Goo 2 looks to finally keep up more of that, nearly 20 years later. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, comes out October 10th. You can assume 14 different roles called lives to build your town in the present, and explore an island in the past to solve mysteries. You can also play 4-player co-op in that. They showed off Another Crab's Treasure. Comes out April 25th. You play as a hermit crab who's lost its shell, and it gives me very much like Katamari Damacy vibes. So you go around and you collect different abilities with whatever shell you are using to defend or attack underwater threats. Penny's Big Breakaway. This is a throwback 3D platformer from the makers of Sonic Mania, and it is out right now. Go and pick it up. If you liked Sonic Mania, this is one of those games that was a sleeper shadow drop title, and it's out right now, so go pick it up if you're interested. Suika Game Multiplayer Mode Expansion. The adorable and hard-to-put-down fruit matching game gets paid DLC added for local 2-player battle mode. Pepper Grinder comes out March 28th, and the demo is out today. It's a drill-centric platformer, looks great, and if you checked out its recent Steam Next Fest demo, then it plays just as good. It just got a release date and the free demo for Switch players to enjoy. Everybody was super excited because Game Freak was listed as one of those partners that would be showing off a game today. And a lot of people, of course, were expecting something Pokemon related. Well, guys, Game Freak makes a lot of games. They make a lot of mobile games. They make a lot of games that don't come out exclusively on Nintendo platforms. So Game Freak decides that they're going to put out a game, Pocket Card Jockey. It's formerly an Apple iOS exclusive, and now this sequel to Pocket Card Jockey is coming back only back home to a Nintendo console. So you can go pick up Pocket Card Jockey right on, and it's out now on Switch. You can pick it up right now. Extremely popular iOS game, and now you can go ahead and play it. Fun game that I'm probably going to drop some money on is going to be Contra Operation Galuga. Comes out March 12th. Demo is out right now. I've already played the demo. Loved it. It's a modern reimagining of the original NES Contra. It features 6 playable characters, and we know now it's coming out in about 3 weeks. Hyped. Contra, one of my all-time favorite games, and we've got the new one coming out, right? Or the remake. It looks really cool. I'm excited for that. Out of nowhere, we get an expansion for Nintendo Online service. And boy, is this a good one. So again, Microsoft playing real nice with Nintendo, and not just real nice, they're letting their old second-party developer put out more games on the Nintendo Switch Online service. So what do we see? We see a Rare Games collection get released for Nintendo Switch Online. This is a bundle of classic Rare games spanning from the NES all the way up to the N64. We're going to get Snake, Rattle, and Roll, RC Pro-Am, Battletoads in Battle Maniacs, Killer Instinct, and Blast Corps. All these games, just so much nostalgia, bring back tons of memory from when I was a kid. And it's available right now. If you've got Nintendo Switch Online, go power your system on, get the update, and download these games and go ahead and play them. They've come, a long way from those days, but my goodness, those are really fun Rare games. And yeah, that's a really good get and a really good collection to add to that online service. And then to wrap things up, Nintendo decided that they themselves were a partner in this partner showcase. And they showed off a remake of another Wii game. So we're gonna get a new Endless Ocean title. So it's probably not a remake. It's probably a sequel from what it looked like. It's called Endless Ocean Luminous, and it plunges players into the ever-changing open ocean. You can dive along or alongside up to 30 players online, where you'll encounter over 500 species of marine life, including extinct creatures. Endless Ocean was a game I picked up on the Wii. I back in those days, I was playing a lot of experimental games that Nintendo would drop on DS and on Wii, and Endless Ocean was one of them. I definitely picked it up. I played it maybe 15 hours or so, which is a long time to be playing a game, and more of like just a sit back and do nothing type of game. You could just basically roam around, discover new animals, get to collect upon type of thing. A little, reminiscent of, I don't know, for lack of a better comparison, like the Pokemon Snap. It's not like that, but sort of. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, Endless Ocean Luminous, another first party game, and the first one was a hit, so why not release another one? Pardon me. And then additionally, they gave us some quick hits at the very end of the presentation. We got Snufkin Melody of Moomin Valley, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Sweep the Board, and Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition. Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition, surprise, was just like a quick mention. That's coming out March 15th. I'm interested to see what this game runs like on Switch. It was a pretty game to look at on the previous consoles. The quick 5-second trailer that they showed us of gameplay looked promising. Is it 30 frames per second? Probably aiming to lock at 30 frames per second. For a Switch game, it looks pretty good. I'm not sure what they're going to be able to pull off. I'm interested to see what can they do with Kingdom Come Deliverance. I'm interested to see on that one. It was one of those games I was curious about previously when they announced it. Let's see what they can pull off. If it's another one of those impossible ports and they do a good enough job, maybe I'll pick this one up. Well, that is everything for this show on this Nintendo Direct that they showed off. Let me know what you guys are excited about. Are you guys surprised Hi-Fi Rush isn't coming to the Switch, or they didn't announce it, and at the very least in this presentation? What do you guys think about Grounded and Penitence? Here's the two games that Microsoft, with 2 out of the 4 games. And do you think that what are the other 2 games that are going to be announced in the future? Will they come out on Switch, or will they be on PS5 only? Very excited. Let's see what's going to happen in the future. As always, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us here at Star Flag Media. Hit that like, subscribe. We are on our way to 100 subscribers, hopefully by the end of the year. We're, about a third of the way there. So let us know what you guys think. Leave a comment below. What was your favorite game of the presentation? As always, we're happy to have you here. And thanks for joining us.